Mr. Mufareh never does anything.
Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you're all having a fabulous, amazing Thursday. So, I just watched Mike Ellis, by the way.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Latest This Is a Big Deal video, and wow, there's a lot to unpack, and not in a good way. So I thought that we could unpack it together.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Let's start with the opening.
This might be a good place to start.
Mike launches into this story about some very, very good-looking girl, not even sure she was 20, and goes on about how tight her body was while discussing this jeans commercial.
Today I want to hit on marketing. What is marketing? Marketing is traffic. What is traffic? Traffic is that hidden gem. And if you have really good targeted traffic coming to whatever you do, whether it's a product or a service, you're going to succeed. It really is that powerful. It is that hidden gem. And I want to give you a quick example of what I'm talking about. Just the other day, maybe 2 days ago, there was a commercial that was run on TV, and it was absolutely genius. And the commercial was a attractive young lady with a hard body, very, 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 very good looking, very, very young. I'm not even sure she was 20 years old. But people love to look at attractive people.
Just so we're clear, this is not me telling you
to be creepy about this commercial if you're an older man and talk about my good jeans.
And the commercial was about jeans. And she was wearing a jean outfit. And literally that was the commercial. She was sitting down wearing a jean outfit. And as she got up, you saw the full outfit. I guess she had a tight body, very, very attractive young lady. And as she walked off the stage, she said, "It's all in the jeans." And of course, there were people out there that just took it in the wrong way. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
This wasn't just a weird detour. This was full-on objectification, and it sets the tone for what this video is really about. Using marketing as seduction, literally and figuratively, and in this case, it's to sell a lie.
Why? Her market audience were people probably from 14 to 40. That's how broad the market was. And as we look at what they did, everybody wants to come on, look at that attractive young lady and go, "Well, I can do that. I can look like that." And because of that, the marketing campaign, absolutely brilliant. Why do I know that? That day, their stock went up 20%. Now, we'll see if they get the sales in 3, 4, 5 weeks, but I'm pretty sure they'll get the sales.
Mike presents this sexualized ad as genius marketing, and that framing is disturbing. He goes on to say that their stock went up 20% that day, and then claims that their sales will also rise in the next few weeks. But stock movements do not equal consumer value. He's equating attention with actual success, which is kind of deceptive. I'm also not sure what this jeans ad, even if he believes it to be genius marketing, has to do with OnPassive or any of their marketing attempts.
It really was an ingenious commercial. That is good marketing.
Yes, that was genius marketing, except the genius part about it isn't that Sydney Sweeney is being sexualized. In fact, I don't find the ad to be sexual at all. The only innuendo is when she stands up and the camera kind of looks at her booty for a second and she makes that comment about how she's not going to say that it makes your butt look good. One might say it's a little bit cheeky.
Get off the stage!
The good news is that she is of age. She is over the age of 20. However, the bad news is that Mike seems to be adding some sexual stuff to this that just isn't there. The reason why this marketing ad is actually genius isn't because she's a young girl with a tight body, as Mike would say. In fact, these clothes aren't even all that tight. The genius part about it is that she's doing the ad as an anti-ad. She's reading this ad like it's not an ad. She's saying, "I'm not telling you to go out there and buy the jeans. It's a joke about reverse psychology, and it's clever." And that is just completely lost on Mike. He doesn't even pick up on any of that. All he sees is a young girl with apparent tight body in jeans. and immediately decides that it's sexualizing her. It's very, very bizarre. Mike is missing the clever comedy behind this ad. And then he's supposed to be some kind of marketing genius, but he can't even pick up on why this ad was actually genius? Pretty telling if you ask me. And this is why OnPassive marketing sucks, and why you should not come to any of these people for any kind of marketing advice. They don't understand marketing. Anyway, what does this have to do with OnPassive? Because their marketing is anything but genius.
Now we come over to what Mr. Mufareh is doing. Will Mr. Mufareh have a traffic source for you and I? Yeah, he will. What will that traffic source look like? I'm not sure yet, but it will be hooked to AI, artificial intelligence. Will he market the same way that the big social media platforms market? No, they won't. Here's what the big social media marketing platforms do. They use AI and they go in and they mine everything. They don't ask you your permission. They go in and they take everything. And by the time they're done, they know more about you than you know about yourself. And that's how they market to individuals. And with all this data that they've mined, they sell it to individuals that drive traffic. They sell it to corporations that want to know what you know so they can get their product in front of those individuals that might be interested in it. So they're doing all of this on the sly. You didn't give them permission to do any of it, but they can do it legally.
Mike is being very misleading here, by the way.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
So do you need permission to collect data on a website? In the United States, there is no single federal privacy law that requires all websites to collect and process personal data. I think this is where Mike stopped reading it. Instead, various state laws have been enacted to regulate data privacy, and many of these laws require users to give consent before websites can collect and process their personal data. For example, the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, requires websites to obtain explicit consent from users before storing certain types of data, including cookies. These laws are part of a growing trend of state-specific privacy laws that aim to protect consumers' data and ensure that users have control over their personal information. It is essential for websites to comply with these laws to avoid legal issues and to respect users' privacy rights. And if you remember, Ash Mufareh's website was collecting cookies and did not actually have the disclaimer. So he's already broken the law in this regard. But regardless, you should hear what Mike has to say after this.
Is that what Mr. Mufareh is going to do? No, it's not. And I'll tell you why.
Could it be because he doesn't want to follow the Florida Senate Bill 262, the Florida Digital Bill of Rights, or FLDBOR?
Yeah, they're going to use AI. Yeah, the marketing campaigns that have, they're going to be tremendous. But they don't need to go in and mine everything about you or anybody else or any company. They don't need to do that. Why? Because they've developed products that are superior above market value or lower price. They know the marketplace. They know what people are using. They know what people need. They know the problems that are out there, and they've given those problems a solution with the products that Mr. Mufareh is developing. I'll give you a good example. And I don't know the products that he's going to come out with.
So for those that don't know, the FLDBOR states that controls need to provide consumers with a reasonably accessible and clear privacy notice, which, among other things, discloses the categories of personal data processed by the controller, the purpose of such processing, and how consumers may exercise their privacy rights. This privacy notice must be updated at least annually, a requirement analogous to that under the California Consumer Privacy Act and California Privacy Rights Act. In other words, in order for Ash to collect everyone's data, he would have to do a lot of work, and he would have to follow a lot of laws, and he doesn't like doing either of those things. Therefore, he claims that he's going to opt out of collecting data. I personally believe, and this is just my personal opinion, that he was planning on collecting data, but then realized that there were too many laws he would have to follow in order to do so, so now he can't sell people's data anymore. And I believe that that was the way he thought he was going to fund this organization, movement, company, whatever you want to call it, and it might be part of the reason why this has come to a standstill. But again, that's just my opinion. Mike stated he has no clue what the products are going to be, and therefore, I must ask, well then how do you know that they are so amazing that everybody is going to want them?
This is just an example. If you look at HR, human resources, and we know this from other individuals talking about it and people that have been in that industry that run HR departments, human resources department, It is very, very difficult. And when you think about all the people and managing all the people, let's say you're a medium-sized company and you've got 2,000 employees, you have to manage all these individuals.
Ash doesn't have any more employees, so this is irrelevant right now. What are we doing here, Mike?
That's what the HR department is for, human resources.
Mike confirms that he believes everyone that watches him to be stupid. We know, Mike. Thank you.
And there are so many things you have to do to stay in front of everything, whether it's a birthday or time off, holiday, vacation, all of that stuff. And because of that, HR departments have to use many, many, many different applications to manage all this stuff. And none of these apps are connected. They don't work together. So you have to go back and forth, do this here, bring it over here, put it over here.
Is it the year 2005? Because I thought it was 2025. Mike, they now have HR applications that do everything. It would have taken you 2 seconds to search on Google and find that out. But here you are talking about an HR department as if it's still working in the early 2000s. You have no clue what technology they use. Have you ever even worked in an HR department? They always think that Ash's tech ideas are so innovative, but everything exists already. They've been using this stuff.
And it's very, very time consuming, very laborious. It's just not it's not a really streamlined functional system. Well, Mr. Mufareh knows that. If he comes out with an HR product, he will have all of the apps necessary to manage that department, hooked to AI, and they're integrated. They all work together. So he doesn't need to go out there and mine all the information, which I think is very, very unethical, to understand what he needs to do to sell his product. He knows the industries out there. He knows the companies. He knows everything about them without doing all of that. And he knows he knows who and how to get that information in front of him using AI and marketing.
So without doing any research, Ash Mufareh just knows. He's all-knowing about every single industry and what he has to do to take over it. Yeah, Mike, sounds totally legit.
Mr. Mufareh never does anything.
Right. You can say that again.
Mr. Mufareh never does anything
Well, that's true.
half-ass.
No, he does everything like a full ass.
Okay? He never does. Whatever he does, it is top tier. It is the best of the best. It is AAA, plus, plus, plus. And because of that,
Scammer's throat clear!
as we come in and do what we're going to be doing with Mr. Mufareh, we're going to have access to tremendous, tremendous traffic. Now, when you think about that, you can sell a service or product that's poo-poo. Maybe, it's just okay. It's not great. It's just okay. And with good traffic, you can do pretty well. But if you have a superior product above market value at a lower price point, and the highest tier traffic you can get, do you think you can do okay?
Oh, I'm not sure if any of you are going to be okay at this point.
Mr. Mufareh will be developing content. He's going to be developing all of this.
Mike can't say the word developing.
Developing all of this. Now, when you look at traffic, when you look at marketing, you have to pay for it. It's not free, guys. Nothing in this world is free, believe it or not. It's just not free.
Here's the thing. Good marketing isn't a magic trick. If your product isn't real or sustainable, marketing just speeds up the scam. People don't win. They just lose faster. There's still no clear explanation of what this company does. Just buzzwords and recycled promises we've heard for 7 years now. And all this idolizing of Ash Mufareh. This cult-like devotion is textbook manipulation. No accountability, no delivery, just blind loyalty. History tends to repeat itself, especially if one doesn't learn from the past. And based on the 7-year history of this company, this is going to end up a giant flop again.
But with Mr. Mufareh, he'll put a price point on it to make it reasonable for each and every one of us. And what does that do for you and I as we come online and we start to participate with Mr. Mufareh? I think the biggest hurdle has been taken care of for us. That's traffic. That's marketing. And it is a massive hurdle. Most people will never do what these high-tier marketers do. It just takes a lot of work. It's very, very expensive. I think Mr. Mufareh has taken that equation and just taken it out of the picture. It will be there for you and I. Will we have to pay for it? I think we will. I don't know that yet, but yeah, it just makes sense. We're going to have to pay for really, really good traffic.
Here's my question. If he's not collecting any data or doing any research, and he's just all-knowing, where is all this traffic coming from? And how are we going to bring it to us? Is it Al's job? How does this all work, Mike? Could you elaborate on this for us?
And because of the products and because of the platform that Mr. Mufareh is providing for us, I think it's going to be very, very simple for individuals to come online and actually start generating income. And that's where the rubber meets the road.
So you think that the products are just going to bring the traffic, but that's not targeted traffic that you buy. That's organic traffic. And if that's going to happen and it's going to be oh so successful, then why would anyone need to buy targeted traffic? So many questions.
Can you come in? Can you use the system? Can you use the platform? Can you use the traffic to develop an online income? Even if you come in and the metrics works, in other words, the amount of money that you're making is less than what you're spending. If that matrix works, even if you come in and make one sale a month, that's perfect. Why? Because if you can make one sale a month, you can make 2, and then 4, and then 8, and then 16, and then 32, and so on and so forth.
Counting with Mike Ellis should bring John Burlow on here and make it a real good Sesame Street episode.
Line, dots, and next, a line.
How? Because you're going to be able to scale it, because I believe you're going to be able to buy traffic. That is such a big deal. I've been doing this for quite a while. I've always bought traffic. I've never looked for organic traffic coming into what I'm doing.
Did you buy subscribers for your YouTube, Mike? Because that's actually against terms of service.
Because organic traffic just does not work. It's like when these big social media platforms go out and they mine everything. It's really not targeted traffic. Yeah, you can target it a little bit, but they're taking everything and they're just throwing everything to the wall to see if it'll stick. That's not what Mr. Mufareh is going to do. Because of the products he's developed, because he knows they're extremely good, better than anything out there, he knows the people that needs what he has.
So you don't believe the companies that actually do collect data and study market trends and research these things. You just have complete blind faith that Ash Mufareh is the only one that could ever do real targeted marketing and traffic. This is just delusional.
And he knows if he can get it in front of them, they're going to come in and they're going to buy. They're going to buy that product because it's better at a lower price point. I believe this traffic will be available for each and every one of us, and I believe we're going to be able to develop an online stream of income based on what Mr. Mufareh is giving us. This is key to everything. Good marketing takes care of so many mistakes you can't imagine it, as that example I did at the very, very beginning of that attractive young lady.
Jesus Christ, I almost forgot about that. Mike had to remind us he's a creep.
Good marketing will set you free.
And who's doing the good marketing here? Bill Must Productions? And John White? Ash Mufareh? You? It isn't Marty anymore.
I do believe it's the hidden gem. I do believe Mr. Mufareh is going to come out with traffic that is top tier, better than anything that's out there. It's what he does.
Is it, Mike? Is it? Because I think I have a very different interpretation of what it is that Ash Mufareh does.
And because of that, he puts us in a position to be able to come on. This is not passive. Come on, use the system and develop an online income. That's why we're all here.
Exactly. To develop an online income. That's why you're all there. Not to save all of humanity or start a movement. Right, Mike Ellis? So why do you all keep pretending that this isn't about making some money? Is it because no one's made a cent in 7 years? And at least if you pretend like this is some kind of movement, then you can claim that all of these webinars and meetings you've all had together actually mean something? Don't forget that Mike Ellis said today, July 31st, that everyone is here to make an online income.
Puts us in a position to be able to come on. This is not passive. Come on, use the system and develop an online income. That's why we're all here.
Don't forget it.
But Mr. Mufareh, he understands the problems and he's given us solutions to those problems. Marketing, traffic is one of the problems most people can never overcome. I think because of Mr. Mufareh, because of what he's doing, because of the corporate group behind him that is developing all this stuff.
Who? Who are you talking about? There is no corporate group behind him. He has no tech team or anybody. He said it's only him. Feel like I'm going insane when they say things like this.
I think that problem's taken care of. Now we're going to see that. Continue to go in the back office, read the notes Mr. Mufareh is putting out there. The story's being told, and all of this is going to unfold. And I'm anxious to see what he has to say. I think it's going to be very exciting for you and I because it gives each and every one of us a way forward. Marketing, traffic, hidden gem. I think that's taken care of.
This is just delusional.
So I just wanted to come out and talk about that a little bit, guys. It's one of those things. It's one of those things I love to talk about. I love to think about. I love to ponder, and I love to see what other people are doing to improve what I do. and you can do the same thing.
Really, O News 8 hasn't been released yet, despite Susie being super excited for it. And they needed something to keep the hype going, so Mike released this useless video, talking a lot of bullshit.
So I thought I'd come on, talk about that just a little bit, and from there, get ready. Mr. Mufareh is coming out with more. Read the notes. And yeah, we're all going to find that, we're in a really, really great place. And from there, yeah, we'll absolutely see everybody on the inside. Have a great week. Bye.
And that was it. In the end, the hidden gem wasn't in the jeans or the jeans. It was in the manipulation. From the objectification of a young woman as an example of genius marketing, to the blind devotion to a vague AI opportunité, this video wasn't about business, it was about control. Mike Ellis dressed up cult tactics as inspiration, and glorified a system where success is reserved for those already at the top. He spoke of freedom, but what he's really selling is financial servitude in a pyramid dressed as progress. This isn't innovation, it's indoctrination. The real gem is realizing that the more you listen, the more they mine your wallet, not your potential. And if the FTC continues to let MLMs operate under this Smoke and Mirrors Act, then it's up to us, the public, to call it what it is. A scam in slick packaging, a con with a smile, a pyramid scheme in a pantsuit. Walk away and take your power with you. That would be the real gem. Let me know all of your thoughts about this whole thing down below. It was very bizarre, and I'll see you all very soon with another one. I love all your faces, bye!
Just so we're clear, this is not me telling you.
To, be creepy about this commercial if you're an older man and talk about my good genes.
Mr. Mufareh never does anything.
Queen of Karma.